You're lying in bed. The lights are off. You're trying to sleep, and suddenly, your brain starts creating stories. Your crush is finally falling for you. You're winning that argument with the perfect comeback. You're the hero saving someone's life. Then the story shifts. And now you're imagining your own funeral, watching everyone who ignored you finally regret it. If that's you, then you've probably spent hours living inside scenes that never happened. Here's what the research actually says. Your brain isn't broken. It's protecting you. And it's not doing what you think it's doing. Let me explain. We're going to break down the psychology of people who imagine fake scenarios, and why the people who do this most are often the ones with the highest emotional intelligence. Not the least. You see, chances are you've never told anyone. Or you did once and got a weird look back. You imagine what before bed, and somewhere in there you decided something was wrong with you. That normal people don't do this. That you're hiding from reality because you can't face it. But here's the truth. There's something called the Zeigarnik Effect, and it explains almost all of it. Back in 1927, a psychologist named Bluma Zeigarnik noticed something odd. Waiters could recall insanely complicated, unpaid orders down to the detail. But the second the bill was settled, the memory just dissolved. What she found was this. Things left unfinished take up way more room in your head than things that are done. Sit with that for a second. Your brain hates loose ends. The text that never got answered. The crush that never went anywhere. The comeback you thought of 3 hours too late. The conversation where you said everything right except nobody was actually listening. Your brain treats all of it like tabs you never closed, sitting open in the background, quietly draining you while waiting for an ending. And when real life doesn't hand you that ending, your imagination writes one for you. That's basically what imagining fake scenarios is about. You're not escaping, you're finishing something. And here's the part that surprised me the most. Your brain releases dopamine, the same chemical tied to reward. Not just when something good actually happens, but when you picture it happening. Think about the last time you imagined your crush texting back first, or finally being the successful one, or proving someone wrong in a conversation that never even took place. Nothing real happened, but it still felt good anyway. Why? Because your brain's reward system can't fully tell the difference between something real and something vividly imagined. Some researchers call this the dopamine preview effect. For a few seconds, your brain hands you a small taste of the thing you're actually craving. Love, winning, being understood, or being picked. This isn't weakness, it's just biology doing its job. In fact, evolutionary psychologists suggest that this ability to mentally simulate scenarios was actually critical for human survival. Before our ancestors walked into a dangerous territory or faced a conflict, their brains ran mental simulations to prepare them for every potential outcome. When you imagine that confrontation in your head, your brain is doing the modern equivalent, running a stress test in a safe environment so you feel prepared for the real world. Here's where it gets bigger than a daydream. There's a network in your brain called the default mode network. It switches on when you're not locked onto a task. When you're daydreaming, in the shower, or lying awake at 1 a.m. That default mode network isn't your brain being lazy. It's your brain doing some of its heaviest lifting, processing emotions, rehearsing conversations before they happen, running simulations of other people, or building your actual sense of self. Researchers at Harvard found this network lights up more in people who test high for creativity and emotional intelligence. You heard that right. The same network writing your 2 a.m. fantasy is the same one that lets you read a room. That makes you creative. That lets you walk into a hard conversation already knowing what you'll say. Your fake scenarios aren't a glitch. That's your brain running at full power. Beyond processing, these fake scenarios often serve as a subtle mechanism for emotional regulation. Think about it. When you've had a day where you felt completely out of control, where someone spoke over you, where a plan fell apart, or where you felt powerless, your brain craves equilibrium. By stepping into a scenario where you control the narrative, the script, and the outcome, you are quietly restoring your sense of agency. You are telling your central nervous system, I am in control here. It is an act of self-soothing. Here's something worth sitting with. The people who imagine the most usually aren't the strangest ones in the room. They're often the ones carrying the most they've never said out loud. Maybe you wanted someone to actually get you. Maybe you wanted more credit for the things you do quietly. Maybe you just wanted to feel chosen or heard or important, even once. And when the world doesn't hand you that, your mind starts building it itself. So here's a different way to look at it. Your fake scenarios aren't random. The person who feels alone imagines connection. The person who feels invisible imagines being seen. The person who got hurt imagines finally hearing, "I'm sorry." The person who's misunderstood imagines someone saying, "I get it. I actually get you." Your imagination isn't running from your life. Sometimes it's just giving you what your life forgot to. That doesn't make you broken. It makes you human. I need you to actually hear this part. If you build entire scenes in your head that never happened, you're not weird and you're not broken. Your brain built a whole internal system to meet needs that weren't being met out here. That's not dysfunction. That's adaptation. That's your mind doing exactly what it's supposed to do. For many people, this adaptation traces back to childhood or early relationships. If you grew up in an environment where your feelings weren't validated, or where expressing yourself wasn't safe, your mind created a sanctuary. In that space, you could express anger without consequences, experience love without the threat of rejection, and explore who you are without judgment. What felt like an idle habit was actually a brilliant survival mechanism designed to protect your heart. One more thing most people don't know. People who do a lot of this rich internal storytelling tend to score higher on empathy, because picturing a scenario, even a fake one, uses the same wiring your brain uses to actually understand someone else's feelings. Every time you imagine how someone feels, you're training that muscle in your brain for the real scenario. So the same imagination that makes you feel strange at night is the same one that makes you the friend who notices when something's off before anyone says a word. The one that makes you a better partner. The one giving you a depth most people never really build. This isn't a disorder, it's emotional intelligence in disguise. So how do you handle this habit without feeling like it's taking over your life? Instead of fighting these scenarios or feeling guilty when they pop up, try asking yourself one simple question. What is this scene trying to give me right now? If you're imagining a heroic save, maybe you're craving validation. If you're rehearsing a conflict, maybe you need to set a boundary in real life. Use your fake scenarios as a mirror. They aren't meant to be lived in forever, but they are pointing directly at what your soul is asking for. So if you catch yourself doing this, before bed, in the shower, zoning out in a meeting, go easy on yourself. Your brain isn't trying to escape your life. It's trying to hand you something your life hasn't gotten around to giving you yet. Closure, connection, being heard, being picked. And as long as it's not hurting you or anyone else, having a rich inner world doesn't make you broken. It makes you deeply, ridiculously human. We didn't expect you to know any of that walking in, but you do now. If this made you look at yourself a little differently, if it made those imaginary scenarios feel less like a weird habit and more like proof you feel things deeply, tap the like button. It actually helps this reach someone who needs to hear it today. And tell me in the comments, what's one common scenario that keeps playing on your mind? I'd love to hear your story. If you want more of this type of content, do subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our future uploads. Stay informed, my friend, and I'll see you in the next one.